Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, accompanied by Queen Taylor, and we are glutton for punishment. We are gluttons for punishment because, right, that's the saying. We're gluttons for punishment
I'm a glutton for punishment.
because we're going to be doing American food the rest of the world finds weird. Weird. All right, let's hop on over.
We don't eat spiders.
When you were
Yeah, again, the thumbnail is like that's a spider or whatever the frick that was. But we don't eat spiders. We're not Australians, okay? You freaking kangaroo eating bastards. And we don't like caviar, like you French nuts.
I mean, never had it.
Yeah, gross. Snail ass.
a kid, did you ever have that one friend in school who liked to experiment by mixing different foods together during lunch? That friend who mixed ketchup with mustard in the same dish with hot sauce, baked beans, and sloppy joes, simply because he found it funny? If you did, you probably dared him to eat it afterward, right? In all likelihood, he probably just stuck his tongue out at you and refused unless you offered him $5 to go through with it. Different combinations of food that don't make sense when put together often seem weird or gross to us. And what is construed as being gross differs across societies and around the world. What we think is delicious or disgusting is often subjective and depends largely on our culture, along with where and how we grew up. Every culture has their fair share of idiosyncrasies. This is especially true when it comes to food. Some examples of delicacies around the world include frog legs and escargot in France, which consists of snails on a platter. In Japan, you can enjoy some delicious wasp crackers and fish eyeballs. In Scotland, you can have your try at the popular dish known as haggis,
caviar.
which is basically a sheep's
haggis.
heart, liver, and lungs mixed with onions,
I've had that.
oatmeal, and suet cooked
You ate
inside the
haggis?
animal's
Yeah, it's
stomach.
actually tasty.
You ate haggis.
I did.
That is disgusting.
I ate it when I was in Scotland.
What do you have to say about yourselves? That's gross. I digress.
You can eat kangaroo if you visit Australia. People in Thailand eat grasshoppers seasoned with salt and pepper, tastes like popcorn. And let's not forget about China, where you can eat anything from duck's feet, scorpion, starfish, to even dog or cat. There
Thank
are
you
many
for
more
saying
examples
it.
of unique foods around the world, but you get the idea.
Thank
Most
you
of
for
what we've
saying it.
listed would be considered
Nothing's
weird
off
for
limits
most
but
Americans.
pets.
But what about American foods that gross out the rest of the world? Believe it or not, bread is one of the items that Americans eat, which grosses out the rest of the world. Whether you
Seen this all
buy a
over our
loaf
last
of bread
video.
for sandwiches or buy buns for hamburgers and hot dogs, many cultures don't often turn to this item as a first choice. Yet Americans love their bread. In the southeastern United States, there's a breakfast food known as biscuits and gravy, which is basically that, biscuits covered in gravy. Here with
But a
the
biscuit
infographic
is
show,
not a
we've
biscuit,
employed
like it is in the UK.
Yeah,
Because
biscuit
the UK biscuit is a cookie.
Yeah.
And an American biscuit
is like a
is bread.
It's like a biscuit. I don't know. It's like a.
Yeah.
How would you describe?
It's not a sweet, it's a savory.
Yeah, it's a savory dish. It's like a muffin, but bread. I don't even know. I have to show you what it peels apart. It's.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know what an English muffin is.
It's bread. We'll just say it's a relative of bread.
many people from all over the world, including the southern United States. One of our fun, eccentric writers for the team, who came up with an outlandish idea for a flavored pillowcase, is from the state of South Carolina and swears by this meal, explaining that there's nothing she loves more than going to Waffle House and ordering herself some biscuits and gravy. She'll even eat it for dinner on occasion. She says the gravy makes the biscuits soft and moist, which makes it good to eat. She even adds butter to her biscuits despite the gravy already being on it. This combination perplexes a lot of people throughout the rest of the country and around the world. Gravy, for most people, is probably best served as a dinner topping, not a breakfast one. Another peculiar southern dish mixing a typical dinner item with a breakfast one includes chicken and waffles. Our South Carolinian says that if you visit the South and don't order this, you're missing out. It's considered almost a rite of passage for every true Southerner. Sure, it may sound gross at first, she says, but once you try it, y'all will wonder why you never thought of it before. If you like chicken and you like waffles, eating them together just makes sense. It satisfies your craving for both dinner and breakfast on.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Chicken and waffles is not my. I'm from the South and like. Nah.
It's not something that I would think is like that's disgusting, like a disgusting combination. Because waffle is also like kind of in the bread family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know. It's not gross because of that. Because you could have chicken and a biscuit.
That's
or
common.
Yeah. So
Very common.
a waffle it's just kind of a sweeter bread that you typically have for breakfast. But it's not something that I would be like, yeah, I want that combination.
Yeah.
We've gone places before that offered it and have that's like their big thing. And I'm like, no, it
Nah,
just isn't
not
something that
interested.
like piques my interest.
Yeah. You got to be, and even if you're in the mood for it, it's a hard pass. There's some people that really like it, but
Yeah.
because I like grits, and a lot of people don't like grits, and that's a real Southern thing.
On a single platter, which is just bliss. She claims she's not the only one, and pretty much everyone she knows in her region loves the stuff. The main problem with this dish, however, is having to make the choice of whether to use the gravy or syrup as your topping. Either one is a possibility, but it's probably safe to assume that most people around the world, and even in other parts of the United States, prefer keeping these two meals separate. Next, corn dogs. If you've ever been to a state fair in the United States, odds are you've purchased one or two of these. For observers
They're
in most
delicious.
other countries, the concept of a deep-fried hot dog on a stick would sound pretty weird and perhaps even gross. We admit that saying what it is out loud does sound a little disgusting. Yet many Americans go crazy for a good corn dog. A food that confounds a lot of people is grits. Even
Oh.
the name doesn't sound
I
all that
actually love
appetizing. If you don't know what grits are, you're not alone. It's
That's weird, you
essentially
just
a
talked about them.
corn-based porridge made of coarse cornmeal. Once
It's a corn-based porridge made out of cornmeal. I don't know why that's bad.
It's just not
It's
good. They're just not
it,
good.
it is delicious. You
It's
put
like
sugar in it, mix it.
no.
It's like oatmeal almost.
It's like if somebody puked up their breakfast and it fell into a blender and the blender turned on and ground it all up really small and it sometimes got warm
That is.
and you ate it.
Have you ever had quinoa?
Yes.
It's like quinoa with
No.
heavy cream, and you mixed it.
It's so not good.
Or yeah, it's not bad. Or those rice cakes. Have you ever had like rice pudding? It's like rice pudding.
Yeah, rice pudding's not good. They're very similar.
They're
It's
delicious.
not good.
Well, you're not from the
missing out.
South now, are you? You're up here. You're over here in that Nebraska area. See the Nebraska all the way up
I
there?
grew up in the South.
No, I grew up in the South. Or
You
is she like,
only lived in the South. I lived in the South for 10 years,
I'm the
11 years.
southest of all Souths.
No.
Yeah. What's south? What's more south? Grits. Thought so.
again, this is mainly a Southern dish, so we consulted our favorite Southern writer who says that she's grown up eating the stuff. She claims that if you live in the South and have never tried grits, people look at you with surprise on their faces. She loves to eat grits as a side with her breakfast, and a popular dish in her area includes shrimp and grits. She says it's not as gross as it sounds, but it may be an acquired taste for those who just aren't used to it. Given her affinity for these foods, one can't help but wonder how she managed to avoid obesity. Nevertheless, people from other places
Whoa.
around the world would
Grits?
probably think the texture of grits is too odd for consumption.
Grits is really literally like oatmeal. How would it cause obesity?
Yeah, that was a really weird
That was
comment.
a weird comment to throw in
They're
there.
just like Americans are fat. We just have to let them know.
Yeah, because
Anywhere
of
we
grits.
can.
Like probably the one food in our entire food group that has 0 across the board when it comes to anything.
Yeah, that was just weird.
It's literally like oatmeal.
I mean, it's disgusting, but like it's not bad for you.
Okay, we think we've picked on our southern dweller enough for now, so we'll redirect our attention to
Ew,
a
that
dish served on
corn
the
dog's
opposite
gross,
end of the
though.
country, in the southwestern side of the United States. That is, southern fried rattlesnake. Yeah, you heard that right. It's said to taste like frog's legs. The meat is often boiled off the bones before dipping in an egg yolk covered in salt, flour, and breadcrumbs. It's a
I've never
deep-fried
heard
meal that
anybody-
grosses out a lot of people who aren't used to it. A more widespread delicacy around the United States is the Hershey's chocolate bar. To many Americans, Hershey's chocolate tastes incredible, and odds are that if you have a girlfriend, she's probably sent you out on an errand or two to pick up some for her at some point. People
done
from
that.
outside the United States, however, surprisingly report the brand as pretty poor excuse for chocolate. They complain that it has a tangy flavor and that it's too sweet. Nevertheless, many Americans continue to love it, and we don't think this will change anytime soon. Our next dish on this list is meatloaf. It may seem unsurprising for those of us who were
Stop the video now. What's wrong with meatloaf?
I have meatloaf tattooed on my leg.
She really does.
I do. I
She
have
has the
my
thing of
mom's meatloaf on my leg.
How could this be bad? Well, it's not
It
bad.
is a loaf of meat. I mean, I guess like the thought of it is kind of, but I don't know. Like you eat
Well,
hamburgers,
so-
and it's just a bunch of hamburgers smushed into like a
a
loaf.
loaf. I gotta remind myself this is just what the world finds weird. And I could see how someone would find meatloaf weird. But I don't know why the Hershey's thing was included in that because, like, it's just chocolate. Like, why would that be weird?
Because to them, it has
It
a
tastes
puke
bad.
taste.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's weird that we like it, I think.
Okay.
Forced to eat it as kids whenever we paid a visit to Grandma's house. Like grits, the name in itself does not sound too appealing. You
There's
may have a
actually a
friend or
big
family
metal
member who
band
manages
called
to make a
Meatloaf.
delicious version of the stuff, but for many of us, the 3 words, "eat your meatloaf," grinds our ears. A popular sandwich
the
in America that's
meatloaf!
considered really weird across other countries is that
Hold on. She had a memory.
Okay, I'm good now. I just needed to get that out.
of peanut butter and jelly. Many people in the United States grew up eating this as children,
Dude, I
and
love
some of us
peanut
still
butter.
enjoy consuming it
Yeah.
as adults, especially when we don't feel like cooking. It's a very simple meal. You just take 2 slices of bread, slap some peanut butter
That's
on
your favorite
one
late
and
night
jelly on the
snack.
other,
Yeah.
and then crush the 2 pieces together into a delicious sandwich. For people in other countries, however, the combination of
do that.
peanut butter and jelly seems nasty. They complain
Don't
that the
knock it
flavors
till
should
you try it.
not mix together, and many are even more unimpressed with the choice of white bread that most Americans choose. Yet it continues to be a common childhood favorite. So what else is common in America but weird everywhere else? Believe it or not, Pop-Tarts make the list. It's another one of those quick meals that many Americans love. All you have to do is take it out of the package, pop it in the toaster, and it's ready to eat. People in other countries, however, view this popular snack to being so sweet that it's sickening. The crust
Fair.
tastes almost like cardboard to them, and the sugar and frosting go way overboard for their taste buds to handle.
get that,
We'll
yeah.
go ahead and wrap up our list with root beer and sweet potato casserole. Other people around the world complain that root beer tastes too much like a bizarre combination of licorice and wintergreen, though it's
Don't
actually made from the bark of
dare.
the sassafras tree. Also perplexing to people around the world is that many Americans enjoy root beer floats, a combination of the drink with vanilla ice cream. For
It's
those who enjoy
delicious.
sweet potato casserole, you might be interested to learn that other cultures think it's revolting. People in other countries point out that sweet potatoes already taste sweet, so why add more sugar to them and cover them with marshmallows? Needless to say, it sounds pretty gross to those who are unfamiliar with it. Do you agree with our list? Did we miss anything? Let us
You
know in
guys
the
are missing
comments.
out
And
on
check out
those
this
last
brand new channel called
What did you know what I was surprised? Maybe you guys eat this and it's not really that. Because I thought it was weird that you put peanut butter and jelly on this list.
That surprised me a bit as well.
But why not grilled cheese? Or quesadillas?
I mean, that's bread and cheese. Who doesn't like bread and cheese?
I don't know. Who doesn't like peanut butter and freaking jelly?
But
you guys?
that's a combination.
I thought that would be international.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by that.
I don't know. Oh my gosh. When I was in France, I had the most delicious grilled cheese sandwich of my life. It was like a garlic bread,
Yeah.
like sandwich with like some white melty cheese. Oh, I don't know what it was. It was to die for.
Hmm.
But
Ciabatta bread?
I also thought mac and cheese, no, peanut butter and jelly was a little bit shocking.
Yeah.
But the last two, like, surprised me. I guess everybody says that everything in America is way too sweet, which I can see. And I can see how it makes sense that adding like brown sugar and marshmallows to sweet potatoes makes them more sweet. But sweet potatoes are good on their own, but just kind of a nice
What
delicacy.
about green bean casserole?
Yeah, that's probably definitely something that they wouldn't like.
Yeah.
Which green bean casserole is also delicious.
I wish. So if I were to make this list, here's where I would think. I agree. Pop-Tarts should definitely be on there.
I thought like a cereal was going to be, because American cereal is very sugary.
I did too. But you ready? This is gonna blow your mind.
Yes.
Why weren't Hot Pockets on the list?
Mm,
Bagel bites weren't on the list.
bagel bites. Oh, like those little pizza
Yeah,
things?
those little pizza things. Definitely, because Hot Pockets, I think, is like a traditional American like thing.
Okay.
That came out in the 90s, I believe. So like I'm really shocked that Hot Pockets weren't on there.
Yeah.
Because
God, in my early 20s, I lived off those because they were fast and cheap and I worked
Yeah.
a lot. Oh, and now I'm like, ugh,
Oh, they're gross now.
that's so disgusting.
But we put our bodies through that.
yeah.
What's another one that like no one talks about the fact that Floridians eat gator. We eat alligators.
Well, yeah, you're judging Australians for eating kangaroo, and gator is like scaly and
But
lives in a friggin' swamp.
But they usually eat just the tails and they fillet it like a fish.
I understand that they do that. I've eaten gator multiple times. I'm just saying
It's not
you can't
great. I
really
don't
judge
like it.
them for eating kangaroo.
But kangaroos are like in that pet category a little bit.
no,
It's almost like eating a dog. Like it's got a mind more than a gator.
what do you think? Gators don't.
I think they're the dumbest creatures on the world. Those swamp puppies, they are silly billies. You can't train a swamp puppy. Kangaroos are like kind, and they're some. All right, they're not kind. They're
actually really terrifying.
yeah, they're aggressive.
They'll whoop your ass.
But I just couldn't see like I don't know. It's just the way I envision. Like gators are dumb little lizards,
Dumb little lizards.
but a kangaroo's like one step from being a different kind of human. They're mammals, aren't they? I know they're like they walk on two legs. They're built like brick
Jump.
shit houses.
They are.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys. Do you like eating giraffes? Because that's what I would put the kangaroo in there with the giraffes.
Okay, so 2 questions that I would like you to answer down in the comments. 1, what is what you would consider the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? If it's kangaroo, I would like to know. 2, what are some items that were not on this list that you would say you consider weird from wherever you're from that Americans eat?
And 3, have you ever eaten those American foods?
Yeah, and what did you think of them?
What did you think of them? Because
Good
you could shit talk
question.
it, but I want to know if you actually.
Yeah, I was not excited about the comment section when we started this video, but now I am. Leave
Now
us
we
some
are.
good stuff, you guys.
All right, there's your homework. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.